So let's move on then to the design development. And I've got part of it shown here. So the first thing you need to do, you'll have created your model. And your model, remember, is a 3D representation, in this case in styrofoam, that you'll have shaped out to show the scale, the proportions, to give an idea of one of the design concepts that you want to take forward. So this model represents this design concept. So what you need to do first is create your model, take 2 small photographs of it, and copy and paste them onto your A4 page, which is set up as landscape this time, not portrait. Okay, so when you've got those in place in the top center and top right hand side of the page, similar to the layout that I've got here, you can then sketch in the design concept that you want to take forwards. So that is a direct copy of the design concept that I've demonstrated in previous tutorials. Scale, proportion, annotations, the whole lot are identical. And what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you now to these development arrows. And these little red arrows lead the eye from one area to the next, and look, there's something going to go on down here. Underneath here, I've got the full sketched out developmental work. So this will be sort of a couple of tutorials. One will be some information about development. I won't be going through about how to apply colour tone because you've seen that, we've done that before. And then we'll go on to a second one about annotations, okay? So let's actually have a look then. So looking at my model, or looking at this 2D design concept, what could I change? And I'm going to show that here on both of these. Now remember, you make changes to improve maybe the aesthetics, the ease of manufacture, the safety aspects, and so on and so forth. And I've already got it sussed out in my mind that I've got a very sharp corner going on there. I think that some of this corner here might be, this internal corner might be difficult to actually produce with great accuracy, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is sketch on here, on my page. I've decided that this sharp edge is going to go, so I'm just going to remove it there. Okay, on the drawing, or sorry, on the photograph I should say. So I'm going to remove it there and there. Okay, and this is very bulky. It's very bulky. So I think what I'll do is as well is remove some of that bulky material as well. Okay, there and there. And that will be about there. And about there as well. So this is the sort of my starting thoughts for my development. And we're seeing now, it's just a different technique. So we're removing this part of the design here, really for safety reasons. And we're going to get rid of some of the bulk as well. So I'm going to push this in a little bit more down here. So that'll be an aesthetical change. That might be a little bit too much. I'm not quite sure about that, but like I said, and to make it a little bit clearer. So there we go. So this material here and here, I'm going to say something like that. That may well go. So the first thing to do is to get started. So really, I'm going to say I'll remove the bulky material here. I'll remove the sharp points. It might dig in the user's hands. I'm going to make an annotation about the model as well. Say that gives a good 3D visual of the clock as well. So I'm saying there really why I've done the model. I'm going to say on this side here that the angle adds a bit of style. Remember, these are the same. It adds a bit more style. The cutout is a bit of a feature. And I'm going to say that the scale model demonstrates a bit of size and proportion as well. Now, remember, the red development arrows, a new thing to you, although we did do them in last year, that leads the eye. So I'm going from here to here, and these two are working together. Now, then we're going to go down here, and I'm going to remove my sheet so you can see graphically the changes that I've made. Okay, so first of all, this one stands out a little bit. So I've got these 3 little colour swatches or colourways. So I know I'm going to annotate about the experimentation of different colour, the different contrast. Could look at different colour schemes, I said in my design concept. Well, here I'm going to look at orange and black, and then maybe red and white, and then blue and yellow. And I'll get an idea. I'll be able to annotate these to say what I think about those. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is look to see what I can do a little bit more. So I've gone from there. I've now reproduced that. Look at my development arrow is coming down here. I've now produced something similar graphically, okay, in this box here. So I'm still going to colour that in with orange. I'm still going to colour that in with yellow. But graphically, I've changed this, okay, very slightly from up here, okay? And then I'll colour that in. I'll probably still colour that in with my orange and my yellow, put my hands in and so on and so forth. And then if we look here, my development arrow's coming here to what will be my final solution. And in my own mind, I've decided to pull away from these straight lines, which are, I think, a bit harsh. I still believe that I've got my maritime or nautical theme, but I'm going to change the colours, and I'm going to go for yellow and a royal blue or a deep blue, because I think that loans itself to my maritime or my more nautical theme a bit better. So I'm going to go with a blue face, okay? I've introduced these dome nuts. These would be the silver nuts that I use to hold all my layers together, and a yellow face. And I've gone for curves, and I'll be talking about that when we look at the annotation for the development. But you should be able to see how my story of development's been told. So this side view, this side elevation is half of the clock looking at the different layers. And when I add colour to this, you'll see, you know, blue, yellow, blue, yellow. I might have blue, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, yellow, blue. You know, I can mix my layers up and play with the different thicknesses of my acrylic. They're all 3mm, but I could put 2 together. That yellow becomes 6mm or 9mm or so on and so forth. So this side view is what's showing those different layers. So look at what we've done then graphically. We've started off with our 2 photographs. Those have been copy and pasted in the top half of the page. Then we've put in the design concept that we've selected to produce those 2 models from. And so that's just a direct copy from your design concepts. Then we've sketched in with our fine line pen the changes that could be made, the first stage of development. So from this model I've learned it's too bulky, the sharp edges and so on and so forth. Then we've come down with our development arrows, sketched it out here to add further annotations in our colour scheme. All right. I've also, if you look, I've moved up the clock face further and so on and so forth. It's near the bottom there, I've moved it up. So, you know, we've taken that cut out further up and so on and so forth. And I'll talk about that more, why, in the annotation. We've got our colourways, and then we've gone through to our final solution that shows what our layered colours look like. And we've rounded off, made it more curved, natural forms and shape to suit the maritime type shape design. So work your way through that, have a go at that. The last or the next sheet development will be the annotation. So you should see this coloured in and with annotations on it. Thanks very much.